Well, hello and welcome. And thank you so very much for tuning in and spending your time to learn a little more about how you can serve St. John Vianney Catholic Church, specifically on the Altar Guild. I'm going to make a series of these videos, hopefully none of them longer than 10 minutes. And that way you don't have to you know, pencil out an entire afternoon to sit down and learn how to be an Altar Guild member. You can do this 10 minutes at a time, and maybe a couple at a time, three, or you can do them once a day for 10 minutes at your lunch breaks. So also the reason for the 10-minute video is that you might be able to come back and quickly find what you need to maybe brush up on, because a lot of this is just information that's going to be coming your way. And some of it is stuff that you've probably never seen, and therefore it takes a little while to learn. Please know that with all ministries at St. John Vianney, I'm giving you that time to learn. Uh, there is really no mistake that I can imagine that will send me off the edge. It is something, mistakes happen. Really, the only thing that makes me angry is when other people get angry at mistakes, because a mass is a sacred service, obviously, that has many, many moving parts. As we start to look at all those parts, we start to understand just how easy it is to make a mistake. As I've always said, I will probably take a victory lap if I ever do a flawless mass. It seems like every time I get towards and thinking, oh, this is the perfect mass, something always goes wrong. So we all make mistakes. What's important is how we recover from those mistakes. One of the things that I've seen is that people just get so down and mad at themselves. It is somewhat natural. Goodness knows there are times at the altar when I mess something up that I just want to beat my head against the altar and say, why? Uh, it, we need to learn that, uh, rule number one in anything in the church is God's grace is prevalent everywhere. And that includes the altar guild and all the services at the altar. There is grace, there is forgiveness. Therefore, forgive yourself first. Because really, if you start getting mad, that just builds up and it goes all sorts of places you don't want it to go. Forgive yourself. Number two is forgive others. The altar guild, we do work on teams, and that means you'll be teamed up with one or two other folks. Make certain to give them wide latitude of grace as well. If they have to miss a Sunday, or if they have a problem, if they're having a life problem, they may be out a month or so. Make sure and tell me, and I will make certain that you have the help you need. Um, don't suffer in quiet. There's no reason to do so. If you're having a problem one day, too much work, or you don't get the help you need, come and find me. A lot of times before the service, I'm in the confessional, which does make things a little problematic as far as coming to find me. Just ask to go in between somebody that's going in the confessional. Say, hey, I'm not going to confession. If I can cut here, I just need a word with Father Scott. Come on in and let me know, and I'll see if I can't figure out uh, a way to help you out. Because usually there are always ways to help you out. You can also go out into the congregation as people arrive at church, and you can find people that are there that are on the altar guild. And you say, "Hey, I know it's not your time, but my partner had to miss today. Could you help?" Third is questions. Many people are scared to ask questions for fear that somebody might say, "Well, that's just the dumbest question I've ever heard in my life." I don't mind questions at all. I will never say it's a dumb question, probably because I had to ask it as well. It took me a long while, and I am still in the process of learning all things about the Mass. Trust me. There are some things we do down in Walsingham that I'm still saying, okay, get me straight on this. Everybody has questions. Don't worry about if they're dumb or otherwise. Ask your question. Don't be afraid. I am very, very happy to help you out. On the Altar Guild, we'll be dealing with several different things, and I do want to kind of draw your attention to them as far as names go. And again, this is something I know you're not going to pick up at first, but I want the names in your head so that eventually you'll pick up on them. Number one, we have, of course, the altar. We have the tabernacle. We have the Eucharistic candlesticks. Now, there are 2 Eucharistic candlesticks, and there are many times 6 office sticks. And we do not have that here in the chapel. Interestingly enough, at the school, we have the 6 office sticks, but we don't have Eucharistic sticks. It is what it is. We use oil candles, and that will be in a later video as far as how to tend and care for those. Sanctus light, sanctuary light. This lets us know that the Blessed Sacrament is here within the altar, within the tabernacle. We also have, of course, the Ambo over here, and that is basically a word for a kind of a pulpit, but being that both here at the chapel as well as at the school, if you notice there's only one place to read and or to preach from. A lot of times you might have an ambo or a lectern, and you would have a pulpit. It would be that way though. Anyway, both at school and at chapel now, all we have is one, and it's called an ambo. Over here we have the Credence Table, and that is what we will learn to set up as well. So these are basic names. We'll be continuing to go throughout, as we go throughout these videos, new vocabulary will come in. There is such a thing as a glossary. Hopefully I will get those to you. We have one printed manual already, but I'm wanting to put out another one. So that will have a glossary of these terms. Again, thank you for serving. Please make certain to ask me any questions if any problems do arise. And just take joy in serving the Lord at his altar. God bless.